What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. She is a owner of her own communications and marketing company. She's also a 3M Open media director for a golf tournament that is hosted out in Blaine, Minnesota. She's also has been an adjunct professor at Marquette University, where she earned her undergrad and her master's degree. I'd like to introduce to you Caitlin Moyer. And we're going to talk to her today about why she wanted to be in communications, why she wanted to be in media, and also ask her some get to know you questions. So, Caitlin, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me on this morning. Appreciate it.
No doubt. Thanks for coming on. I really do appreciate you. My first question is the same as it always is with everybody that hops on this thing, and that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models, any inspirations growing up? But ultimately, what is your why of being in the media and communications industry?
I always wanted to be a sports reporter. I just love sports in general, and so I wanted not necessarily to be on camera as a sports reporter, but I wanted to be a writer. I love writing. So just telling people stories, that was my why. And then when I went into school for it, I started thinking I don't want to have a deadline every day and have to write a story every day because I'm pretty perfectionist and I want to like I'm not done at 5 o'clock with this story. Like I want to make it perfect, you know. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of my naive thinking, and so I went into marketing and public relations instead, where I have 100 deadlines every day. So it's fun how it worked out. When I was in school, social media was just starting, so it ended up just all coming together. Social media gave me the outlet to use my writing skills in a different capacity. I started out working for a Major League Baseball team, and I wrote a blog. So I kind of got to be an in-house reporter in a way, and
Sure.
my hands in a lot of different communications fields along the way of my career too. So I love telling people stories. That's my why, I guess, in a nutshell.
Absolutely. Same here. No question about that. Being a journalist, you gotta love storytelling and you gotta love meeting new people, interviewing new people. Sports is just that beautiful thing where you just never know because it's the unexpected. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know what the game is gonna tell. You never know who you're gonna meet at these games. With different stories to tell. So I love sports for that reason. Kobe Bryant was a huge inspiration to me growing up in California. So I definitely understand what you're talking about. Now, you're based in Wisconsin. Did you grow up in Wisconsin too? Is the Milwaukee area that you grew up in?
Yeah, born and raised, never left. Like you mentioned, I went to Marquette, and so I didn't go away to college or anything, but lived here my whole life. Got to travel a lot. I traveled when I was working in baseball. I traveled with a team on the road, spring training, postseason, all that stuff. I travel for some of these events that I'm working now in my own business. So I get out of the state a lot, but I've never lived outside the state.
I love that. Now you went to Marquette at a time where obviously me being a sports guy, Steve Novak and also Dwayne Wade went to Marquette at the same time, made that big time Final Four run in 2003. And I don't know if you met those guys or seen those guys play in person, but tell me, were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to Marquette University? And did you get a chance to meet those two guys that I just mentioned?
I did, I actually didn't apply anywhere else. I didn't have a safety school.
Mm.
I kind of wanted to live at home, and save a little money that way. And I knew an older cousin of mine, I don't have any siblings, so she was like the closest thing to a sister. She went there. And a lot of my friends were going there too, a lot of people that I knew. So I felt comfortable really wanted to go there. Then they had a great program, so I really didn't look at too many other schools, to be honest with you. But those two guys, I have met them. I was in a couple classes. They were I don't know what their majors were, if I recall, but I know like some of my communication electives. I remember like Travis Diener in particular. He was in my history of jazz class, and I took like a history of rock and roll, and I think those guys showed up in some of those classes. But yeah, it was a really, I mean, Marquette's great, but it was a really fun time to be around the team and the school for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I remember that run, that Final Four run that particular year with Dwayne Wade and Novak being on the team for sure. Me being a kind of a sports historian, I love sports to death. So, and you went there at that time, graduating that very next year in '04. So that's awesome. That's amazing. I want to ask you some favorite questions, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh gosh, favorite meal that I like to cook. I probably like to do like an Asian like stir fry type of dish. It might
Mm,
vary what goes in it, but like chicken or beef, and then broccoli and all the vegetables, and then um, some wontons and stuff to go with it, or some edamame. Just kind of like
okay.
that's fun to
No,
cook.
okay. Caitlin, when I do pull back up to Milwaukee, I might have to stop by. I might have to say what's up to you now. I love me some stir fry. That's good. That's some good stuff, no doubt. Milwaukee's one of my favorite cities in Wisconsin for sure, no question.
Awesome. Yeah, hit me up when you're here for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh gosh, the Eras tour 2 times, Taylor Swift for sure.
Whoa, hold on. Did you
She's
say two
amazing.
times? Two times?
2 times. I got to go in Minneapolis, and then when she announced the second leg, I got to go to Indianapolis. So it was really cool. I don't know if you got to see the show, if you're a Swiftie or not, but I was blown
Mm,
away. And when she announced the second time, I was like, we got to go back again. And she ended up create introducing a whole new album in between those times. So the second time was the same but different. Like it added in a whole new element, and yeah, it was worth every penny. It was amazing.
listen, those tickets were going. That's for sure. I'm not a huge Swiftie. However, she does have some great songs. Wildest Dreams is one of my favorite songs of hers. Not to mention Fortnite with Post Malone on her newest stuff. I really love that. Bad Blood is another one that's very good. Her 1989 album is really good. In my opinion. That's probably the only show that I actually went and saw because I thought that the 1989
Okay.
album was great. Was a classic. But funny story, before I get to the next favorite, I was on a flight going to a cruise. And this particular weekend, Taylor Swift was in Miami. She had a full weekend of Miami shows of her era tour. There was two passengers sitting next to me that paid $1,700 each per ticket.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were Swiftie fans for real. Like I was like, my goodness, they knew every song, every lyric. It was just madness. And I was like, you guys are absolutely out your damn minds. I mean, I don't know if I would do 1,700. I don't know if I would do that, but God bless y'all. I'm sure you're gonna have a great show. And I think the 1,700 covered 2 nights, but they went Friday and
Okay,
Saturday
but
night. So
still,
that's a lot. That's a
that's
lot.
still a
Yeah.
lot. I didn't. I'll tell you, I did not pay that much. I could have got that much for the tickets if I sold them. We were looking on the second market. I was like, if I sold these, we could take like you were on your way to a cruise. I think I could have paid for a whole cruise for what I
Probably
could have got. But I was like, nope, this is the experience. I don't want
could.
to. I don't. I'm not going to sell out for that.
I feel that. Okay, I respect that too. Yeah, go ahead and do your thing as a fellow Swiftie. Her and Beyonce put on quite the shows. To me, they're great performers, not just singers, but great performers as well. So yes, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
We're sports
She's
people,
got
so
a
I
new
want to.
album coming out. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to ask you, did you watch the New Heights podcast with her, Travis Kelsey, and Jason Kelsey? Because she appeared on it and said that she's
No,
releasing
well,
a new album.
it's coming out tonight. It's coming out tonight.
Wow.
So she's gonna be on. They had some clips that came out, but the actual full, the first time we can watch it is like 7 o'clock tonight. So I'm ready to watch it. I have not watched it, but I will.
I certainly will too, no question. Okay. I'm a sports person, so favorite sport you like to watch on TV, favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
I oh gosh, well, I'm really into golf, and I know we're gonna talk about that. I don't know. I like to play golf a lot. and I think it's better to watch on TV in my opinion, and I hate saying that because I work for tournaments and I want people to come out to them, but
Right.
it's hard. I think it's hard to watch golf in person because there's so much going on across a big space. But it is also awesome to see it in person. So I'm just gonna say golf for both.
Okay, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Living in Atlanta, Georgia for almost over a decade, the Masters, I got a chance to see that. I also got a chance to work it as security. So I've been there twice. What a golf course that is up there. It's special, no question about it. And the Open Championship, which also happened in Atlanta, Georgia. I got not the Open as far as the major, but the players that the or the Tour Championship, I should say, the Tour Championship, which is the very end of the year where they're playing for the FedEx Cup, stuff like that. I got a chance to see that in Atlanta, Georgia. So yeah, seeing a golf tournament live is so unique, especially on Sunday. That last round on Sunday is just epic. No question about it. Especially the people at the top. Every putt means something. You hear the roar of the crowd. It's just amazing. No question.
Absolutely.
Last of the favorites. Again, when I do come back out there to Milwaukee, I'm a huge foodie. I love going to different food places. I want to ask you, what is your favorite restaurant to go out and eat at?
Oh gosh, how do I pick? How do I pick just one? Um, Gosh, it should be like a no-brainer. There's too many. There's too many good ones. There's a really great if you like steak. Like if you're gonna come out, you're gonna like I'm gonna treat myself. Eddie Martini's is a great steakhouse. It's really
Okay.
classic. Just get a good cut of meat. They have really good seafood too. Really good cocktails. So, like if you're gonna have a nice birthday celebration or a reward or anniversary or something like that, I would say that. But that's like a once in a year thing.
Okay. So now I'm a huge Italian food person and Mexican food lover. Do you have any great spots out there for those?
Yes. Bel Air Cantina. There's a couple locations of it. It's not it's like a local. I wouldn't say a chain because it is a nice sit down restaurant. That's really
Right.
good for Mexican food. And then what else did you ask? Italian.
Hmm.
Bartolotta is a restaurant group. There's a really nice high end ristorante, Bartolotta, and then they have a couple of other restaurants too within the group. That's like a very nice one. And then there's Calucenza is another newer
Okay.
Italian place, and what's cool about that is like you can get a seat at their pasta bar, and you can watch them make the pasta by hand while you're eating, and so it's cool to just see how they're shaping it and stuff like that. But that's another one where it's like you're gonna probably just go there once a year for a special occasion because it's pretty high end, but it's worth it.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Like I said, I would definitely have to try those restaurants out. And while I'm there, definitely have to say what's up to you. And that's for sure. I would love that. That's a win-win for me. That's for sure. So I love that. Um, I want to get to your day to day. That's where I'm most intrigued at because one, I want to know about the role that you do for the tournament of the 3M Open as a media director, but I also want to know some of the events that you kind of host or put on for with your with owning your own communications and marketing company. Obviously, as a journalist, I know that no 2 days are ever the same. Days change all the time. Events are different all the time. There's different people you deal with. There's different personalities you deal with. All that in the third. Plus different places that you go. As you said, you travel quite a bit. So tell me about your role in the 3M Open Media Director, but also tell me some of the other events that you put on with your communications and marketing company, and what does your day to day look like?
Sure. So my company is just my name. It's Caitlin Moyer Communications and Marketing, and basically it's just me. I don't have any employees, and I do all the different marketing and communication services for whoever will hire me, whoever needs me. So a lot
Mhm.
of work I do is like social media consulting. I do some content creation. I do a lot of writing, copywriting. I also write articles for a couple of different publications. So a couple of my biggest clients are in the golf industry. I'm not exclusive to golf, and even though I mentioned before I love sports in particular, I'm not even
Right.
exclusive to sports. Um,
Okay.
but my 3M Open is one of my biggest clients, and my role there is the media director. Now that's new. I've been working with them for about 4, 5 years now. When I first started, I was working with their social media team and coming up with their content plan for tournament week, and then I would come on site to Blaine for tournament week and help oversee and create the content for their social media platforms, working with their staff hand in hand. And this year, they had a void in their media director role, and they knew that I have a broader background in communications, and asked if I would be willing to step into that role. It was stuff that I've done before, but not in that capacity. So, like, a huge learning curve. Also, me being from Milwaukee, and not being as familiar with the Minnesota media market, that was kind of a learning curve too. But
Sure.
that role, it was great. I had amazing time. I learned a lot. I made some really great connections. So the role of media director, what that entails is, if you are a member of the press and you come out to cover the tournament, you need to get a credential, right? You need to
Right.
have the pass to get onto the course, and then we're going to give you all the information. We're going to work with the PGA Tour, and we're going to give you all the stats, who's in the field. We're going to give you notes after each round. We're going to keep you updated when a player breaks a record of the course, or has a hole in one, like some major milestones, things like that. So I was overseeing the whole media center. We had a media day in advance of the tournament to, get the media excited for it, to get some publicity. So about a month before, came out to Blaine. We invited the media out to the course. They got to actually play the course. Then we had a little
Wow.
press conference telling them
Yeah.
what to look forward to for this year's event. What are all the new foods? What are some of our charitable initiatives? Who's
Hmm.
coming? What are the big names? What are the storylines? All of that, and then just helping the media. How can we help you do your job? Like, you want to tell the story, like, as a journalist, you should appreciate anything we can do to help make your job easier. Do you need a stat? Do you need me
Absolutely.
to look up something? Do you need access? Stuff like that. So, like, I was there. I'd come out at like 4 a.m. a couple days because the morning show anchors want to come out. And when they're there, they're like, we want to talk to someone every hour on the hour. So they're, hitting back to the studio. Hey, we're out here with the tournament director. Oh, now we're talking to the grounds crew. How does it take to prepare for this? Here, now we're talking to volunteers. So I was facilitating all of that, and just being in the center, coordinating. And there was a lot of logistics, so I was coordinating. There's a big LED board in there. They do
Yep.
interviews with the players, so making sure that was communicated and that happened smoothly. And the food, making sure they're fed, all that stuff. Like, a lot of hospitality in that role too. But yeah, it was great. It was great. I really tried to learn the Minnesota media market, like, crash course, and I think I made some good connections, and people seemed like they enjoyed it, and we got a lot of great coverage, which was ultimately the goal.
Absolutely. I love that. And listen, I'm just a little tired of you talking about that because because that sounds like a draining kind of thing. Not to say that it sounds like it's draining, but it sounds like it's so much fun as well. Like, from a person that's outside looking in into a sports type of role, they'd be like, "Wow, that's a whole lot." But really, if you think about it, it's a lot, but it's not really a lot, to the point where it's like a burden. Like, that is not a burden. It's not a lot to do. You're doing this because you absolutely love to do this. Like, this event you're putting on, you're making the players feel comfortable, you're making the media feel comfortable, and the media, you're kind of the middleman, right? Anytime that you're a media director, or anytime you're a middleman to the journalist and the players, right? So that's what you are, and I really respect people who do that. A lot of SIDs in college, which is student information directors. For people that don't know, they're middlemen to media and the college players, collegiate players, because they have to set things up. They have to write things out. They have to do everything in between in order to get them to us, right? So, but you're doing it on a professional level, and you've been doing this for many years, and obviously doing a terrific and fantastic job. I want to know, is this event an annual event always in Minnesota, or does this travel?
Yeah, no, this is in Minnesota. It has been since 2019 that they've had it as a PGA Tour event. before that, it was a Champions Tour event. So it was the senior tour. So yeah, so the last 6 years, it's been a PGA Tour event, and they've signed an extension to stay in Blaine for a while. So it's going to continue on, and it's a great event. It with the 3M as a sponsor. I think it makes it really cool because 3M has so many different products, and you think about like everything they make, like command hooks and like the sponges and post-it notes, and then all the technology. Like they had a whole activation where they showed the technology that was in golf clubs and some of the stuff that they make. So um, painter's tape, like so many things. So they can. It's not like some other type of business that's kind of like nebulous where you can't really get your hands on it and understand what the product is.
Right.
It's easier to integrate the sponsor into that, which makes it easier for everyone in general.
I love that. Now, brings up a great segue of a question, which is mental health and work-life balance. Mental health, there's a lot of people in sports sometimes, whether it's writers or whether you're with teams or whether you're with a marketing company or anything, just sports communications that step away from this industry because of mental health breakdowns and the mental health is just not strong. Work-life balance is also that too. As you just said, you wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Golf tournaments normally don't shut down until the sun goes down, which is probably around 6 or 7 p.m. at night, maybe a little earlier, but that's a long day. We're talking 15 hours between that time frame. So tell me, how do you keep your mental health strong, but also still have that work-life balance? Because Caitlin, you seem like a wonderful woman to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind being around you, that's for sure. But you also seem like you're very busy and passionate about what you do.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's really easy for people to get burnt out in this industry. I will tell you, coming from the baseball world where I spent almost 2 decades in baseball, and 162 games, then you add on spring training, then you add on postseason if you're lucky, and we always say there is no off season there. So that was really long hours. You have like a 10-game homestand, and then if you traveled too, there was just no downtime, and it was really really hard to have
Right.
work life
Right.
balance. And I started realizing that during the pandemic, when baseball kind of took that pause, and they didn't start the season until mid July, if you remember that. And even though we were home and couldn't really do anything because everything was shut down, we were like socially distancing. Like my neighbors were out on the patio hanging out, and I'm like, oh, you guys do this every Sunday, right? But like I'm just not home. I'm either traveling or like at the ballpark. Like I'm
Right.
kind of miss this. And I love traveling. There were some great perks, but it's like now I can kind of make my own schedule. So coming out of that, I started my own company, and now I can kind of pick and choose the projects that I take on, and figuring out, can I balance this? Is this going to be too much? So like the golf tournament, it was go go go. I was there for almost 2 weeks in Blaine, and yes, I miss my family and whatnot. But it was only 2 weeks, and it was very compact, and I was able to just like bear down and focus on the tournament, and just like it was like sleep golf, sleep golf, sleep golf. But then now I'm back, and it's my workload is a little bit lighter because of that. I knew not to take on too many more projects, so I'm still figuring it out, honestly, like 5 years later with my own company. But there's a balance to it, more balance certainly now. And another thing we haven't even got into, I'm a fitness professional on the side. I just
Mm.
love fitness. So I like to run. I like to play golf myself. I love to do yoga. So during the pandemic, or right before the pandemic, I should say, I got my yoga certification. Never thought I was going to teach. I just loved it. Finally had a chance to sneak that in. Got it in. Went to Costa Rica. Got it in, and then the world shut down. And then I
Wow.
ended up I would have never been able to teach yoga while working in a baseball team. There's no consistency that I was home at a regular time. I wasn't going to get up at
Right.
5 a.m. and teach a class and then work, till 11 o'clock at night. So it ended up everything. I would say everything happens for a reason. I started my own business. I was like, oh, I have my yoga certification. I can start teaching classes now if I want. I can work it in. I went on, got my personal training certification too. So that keeps me balanced as well. I love the two different aspects, and it seems that at like a glance, it seems kind of disjointed. But when I'm working out or helping other people through that, or meditating or moving, like sometimes it just clears the mind and it helps you solve a problem in another area of your life. So it's like, oh, I'm thinking and trying to think of a fun, creative idea for this social media piece. I can't sit down in front of my computer. It's not going to happen. If I'm out on a run, it might just pop into my head. So like that for me, that is part of the balance, and it keeps me grounded.
Love that answer. I love it. You got to have a little bit of separation from. And what I mean by separation is you got to have a little bit of difference from what you do. Like, I love sports journalism, but it is not everything that I am. That's for sure. I'm a whole lot more than just sports. I love music. I love poetry. I love going on walks. I love just doing different things. I love working out too. So you got to have that break, and you got to have those
I
boundaries to
think it's
set.
important.
Oh yeah, no question, no question.
Absolutely.
I wanna get your bucket list of events that you would like to cover, or events that you would like to host under your company that you haven't hosted yet. Like, what would be a top four bucket list of events if you can do it, you would do it?
I would say the Masters. You mentioned the Masters earlier. I had the chance to go for a practice round, just won the lottery to buy the tickets. We're only there a couple hours because it rained that one day. We got to go, but it was amazing, best couple hours ever. So to be able to work there, cover that, I think that would be a pinnacle. That would be a highlight. Um, Gosh, I mean, I really like golf a lot. And I've done a lot in baseball. I've got to work all star games. I've got to work postseason games. So I feel very fortunate. I like the Packers. I'm just not a huge football fan, so I feel like, and I have done some work with the Packers, helping out with their playoffs, some social media stuff during their playoffs. So I feel like I've done a lot, and I think just like the Masters or maybe some of the majors in golf would probably be good. I think the Olympics would be cool to
Okay,
do
Olympics, I
as
like
well.
that.
Maybe
Okay.
the World Baseball Classic. I didn't get to do that.
Mm-mm.
So something like that would be interesting to cover.
Maybe a Ryder Cup or President's Cup.
Yeah, yeah, that's yes, definitely, definitely got the chance. Like Wisconsin's so great for golf. I've been really fortunate to go to a lot of events, not like in a working capacity, but just kind of as a fan or a volunteer. I volunteered at the men's U.S. Open, and we just hosted the women's U.S. Open here too, like 40 minutes from my house. So get to just be out there volunteering and hanging out on the tee and just watching this amazing amazing golf right in your own backyard. It's really cool. So yeah, we had the Ryder Cup a couple years ago, and I went. But yeah, to be able to work it, that would be cool too.
Absolutely. No, no doubt about it. That's something I have not been to yet, and I definitely want to go to a Riders Cup and a President's Cup. It's probably two of my favorite events, as well as the
It's
Masters.
great.
I love the Masters as well. I want to ask you, who is your favorite golfer?
Freddie Couples. He's on the senior
Mm,
tour now, but
yeah,
Freddie Couples was my guy growing up. Watched him. He's one of the reasons why I like to play golf now, and it's kind of full circle working in the sport. But yeah, he's always been my favorite.
I love it. I love it. Now, this is a two-part question. What is some advice that you would give someone that wants to be in sport communication slash own their own company, right? Because you taking a risk because you're betting on yourself and it's the hustle and bustle. But what kind of advice would you give that individual? And then also, what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
So advice I would give is just to network, and you know all about that, and like you're a great networker. You just have to be open to meeting people, open to new experiences, taking risks. You know, sometimes you're gonna reach out to someone, especially early on, and you don't have a lot of connections or people to help you make those connections, and you're gonna get maybe rejected, or you're gonna get nobody to respond, or your email is gonna go unread or whatever. But I think that the people that, like, even if like 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 respond and take the time, and you're really respectful of their time, it's going to be valuable. You never know where those connections are going to lead you. So I think just talking to as many people, meeting as many people, and trying as many things. Like when I was starting out, I was an intern at a radio station, and I hated
Wow.
it. But I was like, hey, I know now, I have that experience. I know I don't like it before I actually got into the job. So then on the
Right.
flip side, had an internship in baseball, and the field that I was in was like corporate sponsorship, and I was like, this isn't for me, but I do know I like coming to the ballpark every day. I'm going to make it a goal to work here, and I worked my butt off and did a lot of things to get my foot in the door, and then never really took it out for almost 2 decades. And then I was like, hey, I like golf. What can I do about this, and how can I make a business out of my skill set? So it was a leap for sure, but you just got to take risks, and you got to know your strengths. And the worst thing is, you try it, you don't like it, or you're not, that's not for you, and then you move on to something else. I just think there's so many people that are afraid of failure, that just keeps them from growing. Advice that I've received, I think I've kind of just received that same advice at some point, and I've continued to pass it along. So now when people, students, people like yourself, anyone reaches out to me, like I'm like, I was that person at one time, or I'm still trying to be that person. Like I'm gonna respond, and I'm gonna try to do something to help you, because I know so many people have helped me get to where I am. So I don't take that for granted. And I just think that those role models or people in the past, I still remember all the people that wrote me back or took the time to have a conversation or to
Yep.
introduce me to someone else, that
Absolutely.
I'm just going to pay it forward. So I think that that's what the best advice I have, and that's the advice that I give.
That's really great advice. It really is. Being able to pay it forward, especially to, the next up and coming generation. I try to tell these high school kids, because they're all shocked when I tell them that I've been out of high school for over 20 years. And they're all shocked. They're like, oh my gosh, you don't look like that. I was like, yeah, that was me a long time ago, for sure. But I tell them all the time, like, guys, try everything. If you want to be in journalism or sports or communications or anything that you want to do in your occupation, just try it. You see what you like, you see what you don't like. That's the number one thing. And then once you find something that you like, then you pursue it with all your heart. And that's just what I did with journalism. I like sports writing. I wouldn't mind being in front of the TV at some point, but I also like podcasting and I like radio. I feel like I can do a pretty good job with that. I've done that in college, and now obviously setting up my podcast here, being able to talk to wonderful, talented people like yourself, is a blessing because I'm getting to learn different roles. I'm getting to learn different people. It's a different way of storytelling because everybody has a story to tell, and everybody's story is never the same. It's always different. I'm very blessed, Caitlin, that I have an opportunity to have you on here on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. I really am. And I thank you for allocating your time to me for sure to be able to come on here and talk to me about your upbringing of being in Milwaukee, working with the baseball team for 2+ decades, graduating from Marquette University with your undergrad and your master's, which is damn impressive, and also being a media director and also owning your own company. Like the hustle and bustle that you do is inspiring, and and I wish you just keep doing it with a smile. And I'm a new fan of yours. Obviously, I want to ask you though, as this final question: is there anything else you would like to add about the job, yourself, or anything at all before we conclude?
I'm open for work. If anyone's interested and needs any communication, consulting, or writing, or anything like that, they can feel free to reach out. My website is CaitlinMoyer.com, so it's just my first name, last name.com. You can contact me that way. Reach out to me on Instagram at my name as well. Always willing to have a conversation, see where things go. Love meeting new people. Feel free to follow. Feel free to reach out. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I've enjoyed this conversation, Chris. Yeah, you're great at what you do. Obviously, drawing the story out. I'm like, I don't know if I have too much of a story to have like this much time on a podcast, but we'll see where it goes. And here we are. We could talk probably a lot longer as well. But thank you again for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I definitely want to do a part two with you. And once you do another, maybe another event, I would love to do that. That would be amazing. And obviously, when I'm in Milwaukee, I definitely will come see you for sure. So I want you to take care and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. You and I would definitely be in touch.
All right, take care. Thanks for having me. Bye.